Have you seen this painting before? Most likely, yes. The internet has played a big role in spreading this image through social media. In almost any post featuring disturbing content, you'll find a user reacting with this image in the comments. Most of you probably didn't even know that this image is actually a real painting, but it is. In 1944, an artist named Tom Lea created one of his most impactful works, titled The 2,000-Yard Stare. With this title, the artist gave a name to a well-known psychological phenomenon among war veterans where, due to the traumatic events experienced in combat, their gaze appears lost, staring into the distance as if they were hypnotized or in a trance. In the fall of 1941, Thomas Lea was tasked with illustrating as a sketch artist the experiences of American soldiers on the battlefield. Life magazine sent him to places such as China, Great Britain, Italy, India, North Africa, the North Atlantic, the Middle East, and the Western Pacific, among many others, to create what the magazine called America's first gallery of defense art. This artist made sketches of what he saw, which were then used as the basis for paintings that Life praised for their sensitivity and accuracy, and whose subjects said they did a great service to the Navy, the war effort, and the public. In one instance, after the ship he had been on sank, along with the photographic records on board, Lea's drawings became the only record of the engagement. In September 1944, when the US 1st Marine Division invaded the island of Peleliu, Lea was present during the bloody battle and produced one of his most famous works there, the 2,000-Yard Stare, which we are discussing today. In this same battle, Lea would create the two paintings that earned him worldwide recognition. In this archipelago of the Eastern Pacific, the illustrator confessed years later that he only had to avoid getting killed and memorize what I saw and felt, and so he did. Thomas Lea survived the ordeal and later drew The 2,000-Yard Stare and The Price, an impactful painting that I would love to show in this video, but due to its graphic nature, YouTube does not allow it. However, by publishing it in this magazine, he revealed to the world the horrors of war. I will leave it in the description for you to see. With his most famous works, he perfectly captured the landing of American Marines and the most controversial battle of the war in the Pacific, where 1,794 American soldiers died, and of course, the aftermath of the horror. In That 2,000-Yard Stare, the illustrator depicted the defeated, distressing, hollow, and disoriented look of an American soldier after the conflict. It is a clear consequence of the post-traumatic stress disorder experienced by soldiers on both sides after the bloody battles, the lack of sleep, the high levels of tension and anxiety, and the atrocities they endured and were forced to commit during the war. Regarding the subject of the painting, Thomas Lea made the following notes. The man left the United States 31 months ago. He was wounded in his first campaign. He suffers from tropical diseases. At night he barely sleeps, and in the morning he pulls Japanese soldiers out of holes. 2/3 of his company have been killed or wounded. They will attack again in the morning. How much can a human being endure? These notes highlighted the severe psychological toll of the war. Thanks to this painting, which highlights the visible consequences in frontline combatants, the term 1,000-yard stare became a phrase used to describe that bewildered and hollow look of a soldier after a long battle, typical of the previously mentioned disorder. It is worth noting that this condition was known during World War I as shell shock. This term was used to describe soldiers who suffered from it due to intense explosions or from witnessing the horrific deaths of their comrades in trench warfare. Symptoms also included mutism, deafness, generalized trembling, uncontrollable crying, loss of consciousness, or convulsions. However, it was never properly treated, as those who didn't go to the front lines were often considered cowards. Today, it is understood that this symptom is typical of victims who have suffered a traumatic experience, not necessarily in a war context, due to the dissociation from reality caused by the trauma. This severe distress symptom can occur in any circumstance and place, and is not only applicable to military contexts. Recognizing and treating it properly is crucial for the affected individual and their recovery. In addition to being a talented painter, Lea was a writer whose dispatches were frequently published alongside his artwork. Together, His paintings and words stand as some of the most powerful testimonials about the suffering of ordinary men that emerged from the war. I did not report hearsay. I did not imagine or fake or improvise. I did not cuddle up with personal emotion, moral notion, or political opinion about war with a capital W. I reported in pictures what I saw with my own two eyes, wide open, Lea stated. A native of El Paso, Texas, Lea studied at the Art Institute of Chicago and then traveled to Paris, where he fell in love with the work of the French Romantic painter Eugene Delacroix. During the Great Depression, he considered himself fortunate to paint murals for the Works Progress Administration, which decorated U.S. Post Office buildings in Texas and the Treasury Department building in Washington, D.C. After the war, Lea's portraits and murals adorned university museum collections, the Oval Office, and the Smithsonian. Additionally, he wrote two novels that are considered classics of American Southwestern literature. And as an interesting fact, it's said that until his last days, he kept in his Texas studio the same knife he carried during the Battle of Peleliu, which he used to sharpen the pencils for his drawings. I'd love to know if you were already familiar with this painting, or if you had seen it before online. As I mentioned earlier, this painting has become quite a phenomenon in recent years. From now on, you can find it available in our catalogue, along with a collection of paintings personally selected by me, so you can decorate your home with a true work of art. It's also available as a phone case, so you can protect your phone while turning it into a piece of art. Shipping is free worldwide, and by purchasing from the store, you'll be supporting the channel, allowing me to continue creating videos like this one. You'll find a link in the description. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to see 2 analyses like this every week. See you in the next video. Bye.